And a lot of the deniers, they're going to go back to that. That not all mountains are melted buildings, but then they're going to turn around and claim that we're on a flat Earth, and you can't go both ways. If you want
Yeah.
to call it a mountain, what you're doing with that statement is you are mountain is implying globe model.
That is correct.
Geology implies globe model. So if you want to call it a mountain, then get off the flat Earth topic because you're a glober.
Yep.
Period. There's a lot of diet truthers out there. There's a lot of them, and they're in the rearview mirror already. So it is what it is. We just move forward.
Oh, really?
Well, this is interesting. Curtis 47, you seem to think that the only option for me and my beliefs are that we live on a flat earth and geology is not real and all mountains are melted red brick buildings. And you claim that if I believe in mountains, that I cannot be a flat earther and there is no other option. And I'm here to tell you that there actually is another option, and everything you have said is actually not true in my case. My belief system is very long and thought out and studied. I've been awake 18 years, and for someone to uh, try to figure out my beliefs would be pretty much impossible at this point. So, um, I suggest that you don't try to think for me in the future because that will not help you in understanding what my point is. So, let me give you the third option, which is the option that I take and the option that I believe in. I believe that we live in a holographic universe. I believe that it is a simulation that is projected from the mind of God. I believe that we control the simulation with our consciousness, that we interact with it, that we project it, and that we all coordinate our thoughts to create our universe, our world, and we do live in a flat earth simulation, not a round globe simulation. In this simulation, um, it does not require geology. Anything is possible. Um, I do believe that there are possibly melted buildings in our realms. Bricks can melt. That is obvious. If a brick can melt, then a building can melt given the right circumstances. I believe long ago there was a reset where there was some sort of event, possibly plasma, that created a heat event that melted buildings in our realm. I believe it was long ago. So we have a lot more in common than you realize. And um, you seem to think that I am irrelevant. I'm the fucking future. And you better start listening to me. Now, I'm going to share a video meditation um, of an interview done with Joe Monroe and Ty Timmel. And Ty Timmel is interviewing Joe about the holographic universe. And he has a lot of wonderful things that can be said. And I think this is a wonderful meditation on the holographic universe and the possibilities of our realm. So I ask you all to sit back, relax, let go of your belief systems for an hour, and allow yourself to dream and to expand your consciousness to a new possibility. Everything is not black and white. There is a multitude of colors. Everything in our universe is energy. It is light and frequency and energy and waves. It's consciousness. And to limit yourself to think that our realm is one thing or the other is very, very limiting. It limits you and it limits everybody around you. I'm asking you, Curtis 47, and Meltologist, all of you, to listen to what I am saying to you people. None of you are listening. You need to open your fucking ears and listen to my fucking point. Because I believe that melt buildings are possible. I believe there was an event that could have possibly melted these buildings. We have more in common than you realize. If you would just pay the fuck attention to the words coming out of my fucking mouth, maybe, just maybe, you could pull your heads out of your ass and think for a change. And don't ever, ever try to understand my belief systems again. I'm 18 years deep this January. You are so far behind, it's not even funny. Enjoy the show. Sit back. Shut the fuck up. Love, Biggs.
But the premise of my argument with all of this stuff is it's a basic geometric law that underlines all of reality that can be observed everywhere and cannot be denied by anybody, yeah?
Okay.
And that basic thing is the torus field, yeah? Which is like, you know what that is? It's a donut.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? Yeah. So within that basic geometric, like you can observe that you cut an apple open, torus field. You cut the fucking orange open, torus field. The shaft of a car, the four wheels, every number on a digital clock is within the number 8. Do you know what I mean? Your body is your torso. We're talking to each other. The truth is the Toruth. And then, do you know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. I've seen a TikTok similar to this.
So it's a basic geometric form that underlines everything. It cannot be denied. And within that field, there's 3 aspects to it. Yeah, there's the Holy Trinity. You've got masculine, positive, feminine, negative, and then neutral. Yeah. The right turning swastika represents the masculine charge, positive. It's hot, radiant, acidic, outward. Yeah. The left turning swastika represents the feminine charge, which is negativity, which is absorbent, cold, left turning. Yeah. Yeah. Alkaline. Yeah.
Makes sense, yeah.
So those 2 vortices, yeah, opposing vortices, coexist within the toroidal field, yeah, within the donut. Because they're innately opposed, yeah, they're basically opposites. Yeah. As they coexist, they rub against each other and create friction, yeah, which creates the algorithm of God, yeah. And God stands for,
I noticed that on your
can
hat.
stand for a lot of different things, yeah. Like someone said, the great outdoors, which I thought was amazing. So I totally love that. And nature is God.
Yeah.
But in this sense, it's generation, operation, destruction. Generation, operation, destruction. Yeah. So reality is a sine wave. You know, the Christians say you're born into sin.
Yeah.
You're born into sine. You're born into the sine wave. Yeah. Everything is a sine wave. So that you know, like the heart monitor picks up the sine wave. Like your iPhone, when it's playing the music, you can see the little sine wave. Everything. You are the sine wave. You're born, you live, you die. Do you know what I mean? The phone is manufactured, used, and then breaks. Like everything in this reality conforms to that basic algorithm. Yeah. So
So God for you isn't even a magical dude in the sky.
No, it's an algorithm that absolute divinity. God is the algorithm that absolute divinity uses to express creativity and individuality. Yeah. So initially, you've got like just divine being, just it doesn't have any form, shape, or fuck all. It just is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that being at some point has a desire to know itself, or it's like it recognizes itself. The only reference point it has is itself. So the only thing it can do rationally, logically, is create what it's not. If you've got no reference point and the reference point is just number one, the only thing it can do is make the opposite of that. Do you know what I mean? If this is what I am, this is what I'm not. Do you know what I mean? So then once you've got these 2 points, they interact with each other and then create all of this. So that like the torus field is kind of like the 2 energy patterns turn into positive and negative, and then because they're innately opposed, they rub against each other, which generates the sine wave, which ultimately generates and creates this whole holographic reality that we exist in. So you know the quantum physics thing, they go on about like wave particle duality. Bollocks. It's a waveform. Everything's luminescence, sound and light.
Yep.
That's it. The more you zoom into things, it breaks up. It's a holographic experience, and like reflexology shows that. Yeah, so in a hologram, you can cut, like if you have a holographic picture, you cut it in 2. You don't have 2 halves of a picture; you have 2 full pictures. You cut it into 4, you have 4 full pictures. Yeah, every part contains all the information of the whole. And like reflexology, you can like squeeze certain parts of your hand or certain parts of your ear, and it will affect other parts of your body. Like iridology is another science where you can look into the human eye. They've mapped it as an exact science, and you can tell exactly what's up with somebody's body based on the state of their iris.
Wow.
Because every organ has got a nerve relevant to every other organ. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
that hologram. Living in this hologram thing's quite interesting.
Yeah, just on the T-shirt. Yeah, another day in the hologram.
Another day in the hologram.
But that's what it is, the human hologram. Like this.
So are you trying to say that I'm not really here?
Yeah, you're there. Yeah, 100%. But the experience, how it comes about, is holographic. Yeah, so it's like no, it's not. When people think of the simulation hologram thing, they think like some evil entities created a simulation. Now we're all locked in here like the Matrix. No, like you.
Well, you hear Andrew Tate talking about that a lot, don't you? The Matrix, and they're all trying to get you.
Yeah. I mean, the reality ultimately is one. Everything is one divine intelligence pattern experiencing itself subjectively. So like this, the Ball Earth stuff is a way of getting you to objectify your reality. They give you outer space so you can, in your mind, take yourself out of reality to objectively view it. But ultimately, how it really functions is more like a computer game, or it's holographic. So rather than it being over there, and you're observing it objectively, and I'm a little man on a little thing. You're actually in it. Like you can't get far enough outside of the reality to objectively view it, because you are the reality. Like me and you are the same intelligence pattern.
Effectively.
Yeah, but we are the game. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the eye that you experience and the eye that I experience is the same thing through a different window. You know what I mean? You know, remember those fucking little fiber optic, cheap, shitty lamps you get. These like weird gadget shops. Yeah,
the lava ones.
Not the lava ones. They're like the little fibers.
Yes.
Like, so you've got all the little fibers that come out. Yeah. You click the button and it lights up. So you can take one of those little fibers there and that little fiber there, and you can bend them, and that light can observe that light. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. As you go down the wire, they're connected to a little lump of plastic. You pull the plastic out, and there's just one LED. There's one LED. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like the lights, when they're at the end, are like me and you talking. The wire's like the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, the hyperconscious mind. When it gets to the bit of plastic, that's like the collective consciousness. Mm-hmm. Pull that out of the way, and you've got the light of God, or the divine intelligence, or higher self, or whatever word you decide is your thing. There's only one, and there's many names for it, but it's still the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Like every religion is talking the same story about the one true God, which there is one true God. And you can, wherever you're from in the world, you call it whatever you want, that's fine. But we're talking about the same thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Some of that's blown my mind, to be fair. I'm trying to process it.
So ultimately, you got to accept that all of the reality has to be what, like, the other can't exist, yeah? Because, like, what made you? Oh, my parents made me. What made my parents? Well, my parents' parents made my parents. Well, what made my parents' parents? My parents' parents' parents made my parents' parents. Okay, what made people? Oh, God made people. Okay. What made God? Well, God made God. Well, what made God? God made God. What made God? God. So it's this infinite thing.
Yeah.
So you have to accept then that it's self-generating. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It creates itself. So me and you, the table, the microphone, the floor, are it. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we are God qualitatively, not quantitatively. So, like, I'm a piece of it and you're a piece of it. So's the table, so's the floor, so's the dog, so's the cat. So together we are one.
Yeah.
But as it stands in this expression of whatever the fuck it's doing, we're individual aspects of it. And it's playing itself out for us to understand ourselves. I think the meaning of it all, the purpose of life's got to be entertainment and learning. Do you know what I mean? It entertains itself. It's bored. Initially, the initial divinity is just...
If we're particles in a hologram...
No particles. Particles don't exist. There's no parts. There's no piece. So, like, that's my argument for this flat Earth stuff. The quantum physics thing is like they've objectified the reality. So they've given you particles, billiard balls, pieces. Like, they tell you an atom is like a neutron with an electron and a fucking proton spinning around it. Bollocks. Yeah, that doesn't, like, if what we can observe together always conforms to the toroidal pattern, everything, yeah, even the word truth, Toruth, it's like, it's so obvious. Do you know what I'm saying? Everything requires that. Like, it's then, what are the chances that everything we observe, so, like, for me, there's a difference between science and scientific method, or I call what most people call science scientism now, because it's like a religion, because you've got like, in a religion, you've got the holy man, and he's closer to God. Yeah, you're too scummy to know God, but he's purer than you. You can't know God. He knows God. So you need to go to him. He refers to the book. Do you know what I'm saying? And in science now, you're too stupid to know anything. The scientist, he's studied his whole life doing this thing. He's the guy, yeah, and he refers to the book, the science book. So they've created a religion and told you it's not a religion. And in the end, everything that you observe actually contradicts what these people are telling you, and actually contradicts scientific method. So scientific method is observing something, doing something repeatedly and observing it, and then seeing what happens. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I pick it up and drop it, oh, that does that. That's scientific method. But then when they get into, like, oh, okay, so in the quantum field, the quarks and the quasars, and you're like, you can't see that. You've never seen that. You're just assuming it's your theory. You know what I mean? The atom thing does work, yeah? So the proton, electron, neutron totally functions. But when you overlay that with what we actually observe, like the torus field thing, the proton, like I said earlier, is the masculine charge, yeah? Radiant, hot, outward, yeah? The hot tap is the proton.
Yeah.
The electron is the cold tap, alkaline, cold. Do you know what I mean? Everything, like the positive wire in the wall is the proton. The negative wire is the electron. The neutron is the earth. Yeah. So, like, moving on. So with the torus field thing, as the positive and negative, the masculine and feminine coexist, in the center of the donut, they harmonize and create what's called the plane of inertia. Yeah, inertia is stillness. Yeah. Plane of inertia is the planet of Eartha. The planet of Earth is a plane of inertia. The sun's the proton, it's hot, radiant, masculine. The moon's the electron, it's cold, absorbent, feminine, alkaline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then you have to, like, it makes sense to, if you can't have a belief, you can't even spell the word belief without the word lie, yeah? B-E-L-I-E-F, yeah? So if you believe something, it's privy to be false because you don't know it, you just believe it. A belief is like blind faith, yeah, in something genuinely you don't know. So in my mind, you drop all belief and then you piece the reality together based on what you know as fact for yourself, not because Dave wrote a book and he says this. That's fair enough. You can use the book to inspire you to then recognize something yourself, but you can't base your whole reality on what some other person's written in a book, some other human, the same as you, has written in a book. Do you know what I mean?
But do we have any facts about anything? Is anything fact?
Hot is hot. Cold is cold.
Hot feels hot when you put your hand in it.
Yeah, and then you know
cold
that's
feels
hot.
Cold.
Yeah,
this table's here because I can touch it.
Yeah.
But so are we saying that
I'd go as far as that, yeah. Use your sense organs, your own personal, like, yeah, you can go on a real cosmic one where everything's totally just energy and it's totally. It does that on some level. But right here, right now, you're Ty, I'm Joe, yeah?
Yeah.
That's I could be Joe, I might be Joe. If I'm Joe, you're Ty.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, let's just stick with that, yeah? Water does that. Any body of liquid you've ever come into contact with, larger than its surface area, must be contained, always finds its level. Fact. You agree?
Yeah.
It's a fact. So if I put a drip of water on this table...
Yes, in normal terms, like in a bathtub, in a cup,
Every term, every ink, oil, any liquid you've ever come into contact with your whole life has always, if it's larger than its surface area, been contained and will always find its level, yeah? If it's smaller than the surface area, it will stay in one... If it's on a flat surface, it will stay in one space bound by its own surface tension, yeah? If it's on a curved surface, it will roll off. Fact.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except if there's gravity.
Yeah, but so what they've done to you there is they've got you to disregard your sense organs and what you know to be true in favor of this ideology. Do you know what I'm saying? What are the chances, honestly, that every single body of water, liquid, or any liquid, let's say, conforms to a set group of metrics, always does those things.
Yeah.
What are the chances that the biggest body of liquid you've ever come into contact with, i.e. the ocean, somehow now operates in complete opposition to those metrics? What are the chances, Ty?
Well...
And we've been programmed.
I only know what I've been taught, right?
Exactly.
So,
and who taught us it?
School.
And
scientists.
Who pays for the curriculum?
The government.
And who pays for the government? So I'm saying there's an elite ruling class of people that run the show, yeah? We agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they educated you and me to disregard our sense organs in favor of what they told us. And we now live in a reality that it's actually laughable. It's actually laughable.
I get that the water argument, I get it. Like if I move this cup now, no matter, if we filled this room up, it would have to be contained within this room. Once it's full, it will level.
Has to do it, yeah.
It always levels, hence the spirit level.
Oh, exactly, thank you. Hence the word sea level. Not sea curve, sea sphere, sea level. Horizon is horizontal, isn't it? And horizontal is a sideways plane, isn't it?
Normally,
yeah. You've heard them talk about the spiritual plane and the earthly plane, and the word planet is plane et. Define the word plane in the dictionary. What's it mean?
Flat. I'd imagine. I've not looked at it, but I'd imagine the word flat's in there.
Yeah. So you ever gone on holiday in an aeroplane?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Not an aerosphere or an aero curve. Do you know what I mean? If the guy goes up or down, your ears pop, don't they? But if you've ever been to Australia for 25 hours, sat, totally flat. If you were going across a fucking sphere, you'd be gaining altitude and would have to dip the nose all the time. You'd have to just keep it dipped to fly around it, flying at the speed they're going. Do you know what I mean? You'd be like, that fucking hell.
I'm just trying to think, because my missus has flown yesterday and I was tracking her on the flight apps if you can. And she's flown from London to West Coast of America.
Yeah.
And the flight plan doesn't go straight, though.
No.
If I showed you it now, it's going up over Iceland, over Greenland, back down.
Do you know what it is? So if you take the map that we've been given is true. Yeah, you can use longitude and latitude to find points on a map. Yeah, which is like, okay, that works. So the only thing they've done is they've the way of displaying the information has been changed. Yeah, so really, in reality, north is the center of the vortex, is the center of the torus field. And then south is the circumference, So the latitude lines are like rings of a tree. And the longitude lines are like spokes on a bicycle, And they're the exact same longitude and latitude lines that you see when you see a map on the wall and they go down and across. That works the same. The UK is on longitude, latitude, whatever number and degree, But if you then take that and then you collect the top of all those longitude lines, so they spoke out, and then the latitude lines would naturally then become the lines of a tree. That's actually the same map that the military use, and like a sonar map. That's the true model of the reality. Like it makes total rational sense that it correlates with the basic geometric principle. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, and it can't, it's still the same thing. Like nothing's changed. You're not having to like get your head around, oh, it's all totally different. No, it's the same thing. They just warped the information. All they did was took the circumference, wrapped it round to a point, and now you think it's a ball. Do you know what I mean? But here's some other facts then for you, other than the water thing, if you want to go into that then. So
let's go far away.
You agree with me now. Basic physics dictates you cannot have two opposing pressure systems side by side without a solid barrier.
Explain a bit more in normal terms.
If you vacuum pack some weed, the only thing, the only thing that keeps the vacuum a vacuum is the plastic bag. Yeah, because the vacuum is a negative pressure system.
Correct.
And the outside of the room is a positive pressure system.
Yes.
So you need the bag to keep those two.
So you can't vacuum fresh air outside. You couldn't vacuum the earth.
But my point is that without that, you can't have two opposing pressure systems. You can't have a vacuum and a non-vacuum side by side without a solid barrier. Mm-hmm. Nature abhors a vacuum, yeah? It doesn't do it. It literally doesn't do it. So the notion that the Earth is a positive pressure system and the vacuum of space is clearly would be a negative pressure system, and there's no solid barrier. Like you can just put little spaceships up and go float around and then come back in. I don't know if you've ever over vacuumed something and seen the power of a vacuum. Do you know what I mean? If you vacuum clothes, and you can put all your clothes into a thing and make this amount of clothes like this small, like the pressure is immense. And that's just in like a small little bag. If you imagine the notion of like an infinite vacuum, mate, the Earth would be like a Rice Krispie, but it would just pop. Do you know what I'm saying? And then like, let alone then put a little tin can from the little Rice Krispie up into the space. And then the little man gets out in his little swimsuit and it's just like, it's literally just, it's movie stuff. It's totally retarded. Like,
so hang on. So the moon landing.
Bollocks.
You don't believe it happened?
Don't believe anything, no.
Don't believe it. Don't believe anything.
No, don't believe anything. Go with what you know to be true. No, you can't land on the fucking moon. The moon's like it's a luminary. It's like it's not it doesn't exist for you to drive up and land on.
You just think that was like a political play?
Clearly, obviously. If you mate, go on. If you get your phone out, look at the fucking lunar landing. Honestly, you know, like now.
I have actually looked at some of those videos, and some of them
hangers and tinfoil and fucking duct tape. Come on, man. Do you know what I mean? Like that went through an infinite vacuum to no. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, it's literally retarded.
And then, okay, let's go.
As we get like, what? So like the guy, like we've got Wi-Fi now, and the signal's fucking dog shit. Yeah, you get a Wi-Fi call and you're like, it says 5G, but you're like, you can't hear nothing. But then this guy's got his little dial-up phone and he's like rang the fella on the moon. They're like, oh yes, hey Houston. Like really, honestly, you genuinely believe that as a fully grown man?
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm saying?
So. I don't know. Obviously,
yeah.
I think I believe it because it's all I've known.
Yeah.
I've never looked into it deep enough. But then what about like anything going up into space?
Yeah, it doesn't go up into space. There's nothing.
So for argument's sake, Elon keeps launching his rockets. So where are they going?
Into the water, mate. Into that, they go like that and they go back down. And it's all like these people, Elon, and I don't want to go too mad on camera. Like reality. The Earth is a stage.
But they go. So let's say the Earth's flat.
Yeah.
Let's say the Earth's flat.
It's not completely flat because you got mountains and you got craters. And the ocean does waves.
It's not a globe. Then.
So it's an electromagnetic bandwidth of information. So everything operates as electromagnetism as radio frequency. So there's a set bandwidth of information that this experience that we're having now operates on. Yeah. There's a certain like frequency, sound, there's a certain range of information that we can perceive with our senses, and that dictates our reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So let's say, I'm drawing here, just focus, it's easy if I'm a visual person.
Yeah, cool.
Let's say so what are we talking? Is it a square? Is it a rectangle? It
doesn't exist objectively.
Okay.
So, but you're trying to objectify it by saying, oh, what's under it? Where it is you. It's like it's being projected. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a holographic construct that builds itself as we interact with it.
Okay, so
it doesn't exist objectively. So the only objective is truth.
You're not you don't think that the Antarctic's an ice wall around the outside?
I don't know. It could be a shoreline. Could be. I've never been there. Don't know. And all you go.
That's the general theory of the kind of flat Earth theory, isn't it? That it's flat. Yeah. There's an Antarctic ice wall. I look on YouTube.
I'm not trying to adopt any set direct theory. I'm trying to build an understanding of reality based on what I know to be true and what I can observe and what seems likely. So my take on it, like if you want to get on a mad one, I think it's likely. It's a divine being of sorts, like an organism. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So heaven, heaven, hell is the heel, and then earth and heart are anagrams of each other. So in my head, I've got my head around it. And as the earth is the heart realm, yeah, and the heart chakra is green, and the trees and the grass and everything's green. The throat chakra is blue, and the sky is blue. You've got lymphatic fluid. Your body is made of a bunch of cells, lymphatic fluid and blood. Yeah, cells are selves. Yeah, individual cells. Yeah, the lymphatic fluid is the ocean, and the oil is the blood. The mycelium's the nervous system. And then the vegetation is the lungs. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I think it makes I think, yeah, man is the measure of the universe, and the hue man, when you look on the television, you've got hue and saturation. Saturation is the richness of color, and then hue is the tonality of red to ultraviolet, yeah? Mm-hmm. So hue is the light spectrum. Man is manifestation. So the hue man is the manifestation of the light spectrum. And we're electromagnetic, holographic beings, that multi-dimensional beings. When people talk about, the 3D and we're going to the 4D and maybe I can't get my head around all that because I think it's so, I suppose spatially maybe, but in my head, you're physical, mental, emotional, sexual, intuitive. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's 5 different dimensions just there. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Then you've got like insect realm, animal realm. They're different dimensions, different sizes of experience.
How do you explain consciousness? In terms of like, we've all got a brain, we're all these electromagnetic fields or whatever you're talking about. Yeah. Why do you think your way and I think my way?
The brain doesn't dictate that though, does it? The brain's just a receiver for the information. Like it doesn't generate the reality. It receives what the reality is. Do you know what I mean? Like people think that our brains are the be all and end all of everything, but we're multi-dimensional. So you're as much emotional as you are mental. You're as much sexual as you are. Do you know what I mean? There's different. You've got different energy centers in the body, haven't you? You've got like the 7 sort of major energy centers. Yeah. There's like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, ultraviolet. Yeah, and each of those things are relevant to a different dimension of your reality. You feel something in your gut. Or you're like, you know what I mean? Like if it's emotional, it comes from the heart. Or do you know what I mean? If you're like, you're trying to express something, it's here. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think you can put into words ultimately what consciousness is, but you know what consciousness is because you're conscious. So it's that thing that makes you. Do you know what I mean? Beyond your fucking body or your car. It's when you're sat in silence with no external stimuli, that's consciousness. Being.
What about when you die?
Yeah, what about when you die? Yeah. That is the ultimate that we're here to do. That's the most exciting thing that happens to us in life is death. And this whole thing is some sort of, as far as I can deduce, some kind of training ground to see if you are of a certain, to see if you qualify for the next version of reality. Like everything's.
So you believe there's something after? Because what I mean is, so this physical being body that I can touch is probably the realest thing I know to be true.
Yeah.
Is going to die. Is going to keel over. It's going to stop working like a car would. Mm-hmm. They're going to either burn me or bury me.
Yeah.
What happens to my conscious?
That's the question, isn't it? That's what we're all.
What happens to the energy?
Yeah, exactly. It has to do something, doesn't it? That's what I'm saying. And then that's the most exciting thing. So if you can get rid of all belief and start to build a picture of what this thing is more likely to be based on your own experience and your own understanding and observation of it, you've got a better chance then of understanding yourself. You know what I'm saying? If everything is one, if it's all one energy pattern, and you misinterpret what's outside of you or perceivably outside of you, ultimately you're misinterpreting yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? So you live in like a disparity. So we don't know what's going to be next, but we've got a better chance of fucking working it out if we can at least try and work out what's now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we've been told that they've done that. Oh yeah, no, humans have been there, they've done that, we've seen all the land. I'd go as far as saying that the elite ruling class they've got us in a petri dish, and we've got these little bits of paper, passports, that allow a few of us at certain other plots of land and different things. But I'd say there's loads more land than what we've been told. And I'd say like certain level of the military know that. And I'd say a lot of the pilots must know certain things. But a lot of these people are in the club, do you know what I mean? They're in a club. It's a huge club, and we're not in it.
Fucking hell. It's mad, some of that.
Yeah, it's mad. But it's
do you know what it is? I don't know whether I'm so preset.
It's hard. My mate put me onto it, yeah.
I can't fathom some of the shit you're saying.
Absolutely.
One, it's scientifically, I don't understand it. But two, like, well, what the hell is he on about? I go up on a plane, I can categorically see the curvature of the Earth.
That's retarded. You've literally never seen the curve of the Earth. So if you
stand on the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the tallest building in the world,
the ocean comes to eye level.
At the top, you can see it go round.
You can't. You think you can.
What can I see then?
Go to the Bournemouth. Go fuck the Khalifa. Go to Bournemouth Pier.
Right.
Put your feet in the water. So the thing, like, I know I'm a tattooist, not a scientist, and all this crap. I tattoo geometric tattoo work. I like geometry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basic geometry. Yeah. A sphere. So imagine the Earth now as a ping pong ball. Yeah. Get rid of all the lumps and bumps and water. It's a ping pong ball. Yeah. The ocean, the top of the ocean would be the top of the ping pong ball. We agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go and bury your ankles into the ping pong ball. So the top of the ping pong ball is now in your ankles. Yeah. So go stand in the ocean. Yeah. It's a giant ping pong ball. Yeah. Say it's 5 times bigger than what they've told you the Earth already is. People go, yeah, it's really big. That's why. Then it goes down. There is no way, geometrically, you should be looking straight up at the horizon. There's no way the water and the sky should converge at eye level if the top of the water is going away from itself in all directions. Yeah? Mm-hmm. If you've got a sphere, wherever you stand on the sphere...
You can't see the end, is what you're saying. You can't
see the fucking...
Because it should be going round and down.
Yeah. Your eyes are fucking higher than it. So there's no way that you can be looking at a horizon at eye level where your feet... My eyes are 5 foot nothing, 5'5", whatever I am, fucking higher than the top of the sphere, yeah?
Yeah.
But I'm looking up straight and it converges at eye level.
But are you not seeing, say I'm stood here and I'm looking out like that, or sorry, I'm probably more looking...
You've done it there.
I'm probably more looking that way.
You're not though. Exactly. You've just done it. That's exactly.
Fuck's sake, he's got me, guys.
Do you know what I'm saying? So then, get this then.
Is it not just though when as far as the eye can see is when it looks like a horizon?
It's as far as the eye can see, exactly. But the convergence point of the floor and the sky, if the floor was going down around itself, would be lower than eye level. It would be at the level of the top of the floor, which would be at your ankles. And then you get onto the sand, so you're now higher than the top of that ball, yeah? It's still at eye level. But the higher you go, if the only way you should be looking at eye level, if the Earth is a sphere, is if your eye is at the fucking level of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as soon as you get higher, it should, even if it's humongous, it's so fucking big, it looks flat, yeah, as they tell you. It should be there. Even if it looked flat, it should be slightly down from eye level. And the higher you get, the lower it would get, and it would round itself. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
So I kind of understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's basic geometry. It's just common sense. So then you go on the fucking promenade, which is now even higher than the sand, higher than the top of the ball. It's still at eye level. You go up the fucking zigzag into the penthouse of the Hilton. It's still at eye level. You can go up the building in Dubai.
Yeah.
I guarantee you it's still at eye level, mate. Like I've been on an aeroplane.
Well, technically it's... Yeah, I see what you're saying. So I am looking at it.
The higher you go, the more of it you see. So it converges wherever you are. The sky and the floor converge wherever your eyes are.
So let me try something else. So is the moon and sun round?
They look to be round, but round doesn't mean spherical, does it? A coin is round, isn't it? So I don't. They look to be round.
When you look up,
but
you can.
Are they spherical? I don't know. I don't know any more than you do. Is a coin spherical?
But if you look through a telescope at the moon,
yeah, I actually bought a.
You can you can almost see that it's not a flat surface. It's doing this.
Maybe it does. Yeah, I don't know.
If you zoom in,
I actually bought a Canon P900 when I was trying to get my head around all this stuff, and it was one of the main things. I was in Nepal. I bought the thing in India, and then we went up a fucking big mountain in Nepal to a temple, and the moon was out. It's the middle of the daytime. And this camera, the P900 at the time, I zoomed in, you can see the craters, it was fucking crisp. Do you know what I mean? You can see this thing real close. And then with the camera, I looked at like a fucking little speck in the distance, zoomed in on it, brought that into view, seen the next little speck, zoomed in on it, to the point where the camera could like just make out this little flag in the distance. It was blurry, and wherever I moved my hands, it was miles away,
Yeah.
And I knew then that the moon was closer than that flag. And that flag was still in Tibet, because I can't see any, in Nepal, because I can't see any further than, I'm not seeing into another country with this camera. Do you know what I'm saying? So I know then, just by observation, direct observation, that the moon is closer than that flag, because the camera has zoomed into that clearly, and it hasn't zoomed into that clearly. Do you know what I mean? It's just obvious. It's not that far away. You can see it's not that far away. Mate, the corpuscular rays of the sun, when they're behind a cloud, like they come from a center point that you follow the corpuscular rays, you can see that it's just there. Like, I've seen pictures where the sun is below clouds and stuff. Do you know what I mean? The information is out there. Like, it's just.
Okay, so let me try something else. What are the elite, or the people that tell us information, gaining from telling us that the Earth is round and not flat?
If you deny your reality, if you deny everything your sense organs are telling you in favour of what I tell you, that can benefit me. Yes or no?
You have control.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Do you know what I'm saying? If you literally, if you're sat there and I say, Ty, don't get off the chair, mate. There's a ring of fire around you. It will burn you. It's best. It's in your interest to stay on that chair. Yeah. You can't feel the heat. You can't smell the soot. You can't even see the flames. Nothing in your field is telling you that there's a ring of fire around you. But you wholeheartedly believe me because I told you. That's handy, no? To manipulate populations and get things going the way you need it to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a control.
Yeah, exactly. But what else are they
I'm
trying
just trying
to
to
do?
think what the bigger.
It's just control, isn't it? It's just, but ultimately, on a real deep fucking spiritual level, we've already covered that it's all one. So the elite, or the idea of the elite, on a deep level, it's just you anyway. You're fucking yourself up for the sake of understanding yourself. It's like a Rubik's Cube, and you've just like mixed the Rubik's Cube up and jumped into it. Forgot everything about everything, and now me and you are going through it, enjoying ourselves day by day, trying to work out what the fuck's going on. Do you know what I mean? It's a game. It's a cosmic game with yourself. So like you can play, when we're here now, Joe and Ty in the room, we can talk about the elite and this and everything else as a point of conversation. But like on a deep level, in reality, you're either a victim or you're responsible for yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you either take responsibility for yourself or you're a victim. And that's a choice every second of every day. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's that. No one's doing it to you. You're doing it to yourself, but you doing it to yourself is so complex, and so you're such like an eternal, infinite being that you doing it to yourself now is perceived as like, yeah, there's these people there doing this, and do you know what I mean? We've all got our own wants.
I get the money theory for control, the fake bits of paper that we give around. Mm-hmm. I get the passports, I get the borders, I get all that political stuff.
Yeah.
But when I zoom out as far as talking about the Earth being round or flat or whatever, that I struggle to fathom why they would want to control that element of the narrative.
But that is that's the number one thing. Like before the 60s, like these few people, like we were this thing in our head that it's this massive thing and everyone at NASA's in on it. And no, mate, we went to schools. We were just programmed with an idea. And then the idea now has ran itself to a point where we're here. But ultimately, is there any foundation for that idea? If you think that's true because you were told it repeatedly as a child, but have you actually looked at the sun and the moon? Have you actually like got your head around?
Quite a lot, but I just it's round.
What are the chances?
Till it goes up in the east and sets in the west.
Yeah, exactly. But what are the chances that the hot one, yeah, there's exactly when they go past each other, you agree they're the same size, yeah. They look
because they're
yeah, exactly. So in this magic Big Bang that everything just randomly exploded out of nothing from.
Yeah.
What are the fucking chances, honestly, that the big one was just so perfectly far away? The hot one was so far away. It was bigger and hotter, but it was so far and it perfectly, as they go past each other, are the exact same size. When everything else in reality has a clear balance, masculine and feminine. Yeah, you can't deny that, man and woman, hot and cold. Yin and yang, do you know what I'm saying? Like that, it's that. But then what they've done is they've like, or what they've done, what we've done, what the reality at this point seems to have done is they've like, they've blagged you that the positive aspect, the male aspect of it is 400 times bigger and 400 times more powerful than the feminine aspect. And that's just this little rock that just reflects the glory of the sun's light. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like the feminine aspect is now this like, it's just a reflector of the masculine light. You know what I'm saying? It's not like reality's balanced. Like it doesn't work if you've got more voltage through the positive and the negative. It doesn't function like that. It's balanced. And it's like, if you go out into the moonlight, the moonlight is colder than the shade of the moonlight. Yeah, the moon gives off a cold light. You can measure it with a fucking thermometer. It is not the reflection of the sun's light. They definitely interact with each other 100%, and that dictates the phases. But the sunlight is hotter than the shade of the sunlight. So the sun gives off a hot radiance. The moon gives off cold absorbance. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're two opposing things. They're not the same thing. And then if you go out once a month, especially in the winter when you've got a clear sky, you can see the sun and the moon in the sky at the same time. Mm-hmm. This was one that did it for me, And it's like, they tell you that the shadow on the moon is the Earth's shadow. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but when they're both in the sky and the moon's in phase, you're on the Earth and the sun's there and the moon's there and the moon's in phase. Where's the shadow come from then? If you're on the Earth and they're both there and you're on the Earth, out the way of it, and they're clearly in front of each other, what's creating the fucking shadow on the moon? And if the light source...
What is creating it?
If the light source, which is the sun, is actually 400 times far away from the object being projected on, the moon, how does it go into phase? Like if they're local, when the sun's here and the moon's here, that's a full moon. When the sun's here and the moon's here, that's a new moon. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then it's like waxing, full, waning, new. Yeah? And it does this. So like...
Do you think they're local?
Yeah, they're local. They're clearly local. And they're the hands of a clock. So you've got... So when you pull the globe thing out of itself, you take the South Pole and it's now the circumference, longitude, latitude, 24 time zones, 24-hour clock, each time zone is an hour of the 24-hour clock. The moon is the hour hand and the sun is the minute hand, and you've heard of the electromagnetic ley lines of the Earth, so you can measure these things like major cathedrals, fucking pyramids, different things are built where these things cross, they're measurable. So the sun and the moon are what's called quantum locked over the electromagnetic ley lines of the Earth. If you go on your Google, and you can maybe do this when you do the thing, put a link to it. There's a 2-minute 51-second video on YouTube. If you type in quantum locking, and it shows you a superconductor, which is a magnet that's been frozen with liquid nitrogen, and they put it over a track like this, a flat ring track. And the superconductor, the magnet, will sit anywhere you put it. You can move it there, it will hover there. You flick it, it will just move around the tracks, called quantum levitation, And it's a practical example of how the superconductors, the sun and the moon, operate above the stationary plane of the Earth. And the electromagnetic ley lines, have you seen this thing on my arm there? So there's the center of the torus field, the donut. If you've got the donut and you're looking sideways, when you look on top of it, you've got the right turning lines are the positive lines, the left turn lines are the negative lines, yeah?
Yeah.
And it creates this toroidal field that you see everywhere. The center of a flower, sunflower, everything in nature does that pattern. You cannot fucking deny it, yeah?
Yeah.
So the Earth, the ley lines do something similar to that, and the sun and the moon are quantum locked over those things. And they yin yang, so the yin yang, the white dot in the black is the moon, the white of the moon in the darkness of night. And then, so like the sun is actually black light, yeah? It's dielectricity. Mm-hmm. That's why you get tanned in it, yeah? And like Krishna in Hinduism or Christ is the sun, yeah? And it's black light. So the black dot in the white space is the sun in the daytime, yeah? Mm-hmm. So those two things are like, they literally yin yang, in and up, out and down, in and up, out and down. It's a clock, like it's a giant cosmic clock, yeah? And as they do that, they pull the oceans and the waters all move with it and stuff, yeah? Mm-hmm. And then there was
I'll watch that video after.
Yeah, it's really good. It's basic. It doesn't. They're not arguing that it's the sun and the moon. It's just quantum levitation. But once you've seen that, that's a practical example of how that phenomenon that we see could operate. There is no practical example of you getting a case. So here's another few things then. Liquid operates a certain way.
Yep.
You can't have two opposing pressure systems side by side without a solid barrier. Yeah. You cannot cause combustion in a vacuum. Fact.
Okay.
You know that, don't you? So if you get a
I'm trying to
Perspex
think of
box,
examples.
get a Perspex box, set up a lighter flint, an electric lighter flint. Yeah. Make it totally airtight, vacuum it. Will you get a spark?
No.
Obviously not.
No.
Yeah. But the belief is that there's a combusting ball of fucking gas in the middle of a great big vacuum, yeah, and you're on a circular, a spherical rock covered on the outside with liquid that's spinning. When you go to the park, are you got a child or?
No, but I've been to the park.
Yeah, go on the roundabout, spin the roundabout really fast. What happens?
We fly off it.
Centrifugal force, yeah. So with centrifugal force, it throws things outward from the center, doesn't it? That's another fact, isn't it? So we've got, you can't have two opposing pressure systems side by side without the solid barrier. You've got the undeniable metrics of water and liquid. Can't cause combustion in a vacuum. Centrifugal force. Yeah. They're facts, mate. You can't deny those things.
Why do you feel, this might not be one for you, but why do you not feel like you're moving when you're inside something? So what I mean is if I'm in a plane traveling at 500-600 miles an hour and I throw a ball up in the air, it lands back in my hand, why is it not then shooting away?
Two different pressure systems. But you've got the solid barrier of the train or the vehicle that's moving. You've got one pressure system inside. Yeah, and then you've got the other pressure system outside that's moving. It's contained, yeah. But we don't have that here, do we? Because they're telling you that they go up in spaceships and put satellites up. Here's one for you. So GPS, back in the 50s when it first came out, stood for ground positioning system, not global. And they changed the words of that. And you know that it doesn't operate and there's no real satellites. If you get a lull with cove, you don't get signal, do you? Anytime you're in a dip,
you don't get signal in Bournemouth Centre.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Because there's too many buildings. Because you only get signal when you're in line of a tower. With a tower, you can send a signal.
What you're saying is it's not going up and down, it's just going
goes
along.
Across, yeah. They don't do that. There's no such thing as fucking satellites. They've got weather balloons, and they've had weather balloons for years. They're humongous big helium things that take... You have certain, you could call them satellites, but they're attached to a weather balloon. Like what goes up must come down, and the sky is the limit. Yeah, these sayings are fact. You can't you don't just like go up, 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 then at some point just go, and then just start floating around. Do you know what I mean? Like, you said
remind me of a scene out of Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory.
It's just so dumb. And you said to me earlier, but gravity though.
Yeah, I was going to ask you gravity.
So gravity is gravity, yeah? And the grave is in the ground, yeah? But the gravity is the necessary thing you need because your mind knows all those things that I've told you. Your heart knows those facts that I've told you, you know are true, yeah? So you need the magic gravity to keep you stuck to the outside of a ball and to keep the liquid stuck to the outside of a ball that you know shouldn't be happening. But what actually, give me a pen. Like, why does that do that without gravity?
Well, I was going to say the same thing to you. Like, if I drop my phone or that pen, it doesn't hit the ceiling.
No,
hits
why
the
is that?
ground? Well, I've always been taught because of gravity.
Well, what about it's denser than air? It's denser than air, isn't it? It's heavier than air.
It is
what
denser
happens if
than
you
air.
get a tennis ball and you hold it above a pool, yeah? Like that, and you drop the tennis ball, yeah? Gravity, in my eyes, is a state, not a force, yeah? So something is in a state of gravity or gravity if I'm holding it in a, like, if it's denser than its surrounding medium, it's in a state of gravity.
Mm-hmm.
If it's less dense than its surrounding medium, it's in a state of levity, yeah? So once the apple falls from the tree, yeah, gravity hits the water, now it's in a state of levity. There is no
floating.
force pulling it down. It's now not as dense as the water. So why do you need gravity? Like when you burn an incense stick, why does the smoke go up if there is a force pulling everything down? If a kilogram of water, a liter of water weighs a kilogram, yeah? Mm-hmm. How many fucking kilograms of water is in the ocean? A lot, yeah? Then spin it so it gets even fucking heavier, yeah? That's a fucking serious fucking force. But a butterfly, or us that are made of, I don't know, 70, 90% water, whatever it is, we can lift our feet up, we can jump, we can do whatever. But the liquid, the heavy, dense fucking liquid that's being spun to make it even heavier is being held down by this gravity magic. But the incense smoke goes up and I can walk and a butterfly can fly and just come on, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's just pish. It's just pish. It's utter shit. Like, we've had an educational system over the last 100 years that's just fucked our heads up. And no one has got the sense to just go, oh, maybe it's not true. Maybe there's another explanation for how things work. Do you know what I mean? Maybe there's another explanation that actually correlates with what we observe and know to be true for ourselves. Not some higher power, some scientist or some priest.
Does it matter, though, what we believe?
Well, yeah, because I said to you earlier on, if it's all one thing and then you misinterpret your reality, you live in a state of psychosis. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you believe you're a fucking chicken and you start going out there, buck, 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 and trying to like headbutt people. It matters, doesn't it? You're now in a state of psychosis. Ty's lost the fucking plot. Do you know what I mean? Someone sort him out. Do you know what I mean? But if everybody starts doing it, it's normal now. And if I'm not pecking people, I'm a nutcase.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I've heard kind of stuff similar to that. Can't remember who it was.
Mm.
Someone said something about if I go out and run on my own in the middle of the night, I'm a nutter. But if everyone runs with me, it becomes a marathon.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I saw your thing actually. Your walk looked really good.
Yeah, that was good fun, mate. I'm just trying to get my head around after this shit.
Yeah, sorry. But you see what I'm saying? It's not. It's not cut and dry.
I was going to ask you something because I remember you sent me that video about the sun being local.
Yeah.
And it being in between the clouds and how does that happen? That sort of shit. You've got countries. So how do you explain like countries like Iceland that have 3-4 months of only sunlight?
Yeah.
Why is the sun not going down?
Because they're local and it's the position.
Or not going down, but not being blocked or whatever.
It's the position on the on the cosmic disc, I suppose. I got to be careful where you say it because as soon as you say that the disc, people start to objectify it and think it's a disc with a bottom. But it operates as a horizontal bandwidth. You can only see so far. So in the morning, the sun comes. It doesn't rise and then go down. It starts off very small. Go to Bournemouth and look fucking Pierside. And it gets small, gets larger, and then gets smaller. Because they're moving around and they get so far. That's why it doesn't just, you don't have like a shadow of nighttime just sweep the earth. It just
like you actually see on a plane's video when you're flying. You know, it shows you day and night. And because they've got a line going over.
Yeah, they've got to do the little 3D things to get your head into it, haven't they? But you think about it rationally. If the light source was being beamed from miles away, and the only thing that was like dictating nighttime was you turning away from the light, it wouldn't operate like that. Do you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't get any smaller. It's always the same size. It's always fixed where it is. We're always the same distance away from it. I'm just turning away from it. But it gets smaller. It clearly gets smaller and it gets colder as it gets further away from you. You know what I mean? And then you still got, the sun will be out of sight and you'll still have light. Do you know what I mean?
I there's elements in what you're saying that my rational mind can fathom and think, okay, there seems to be some logic in that.
It's actually,
but there's a part of my brain that just doesn't want to accept it.
It's the programming course, mate. It took me months. My mate told me, but the only thing that
I just can't. I still believe when I look, I see the curvature. I genuinely believe when I'm on a plane, I can see the Earth.
Now we've had the chat, start having a look, because you've only ever looked at it from that point of view.
Yeah.
So like, look at it from a different point of view. Just drop the bullshit, the idea, and then just look and think: is it possible? Can what I'm observing be explained in any other way? And if so, well, is the thing that I actually hold true? Does that actually correlate? Does that add up? Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't. I'm telling you, it fucking doesn't, mate. Like, if it did, I wouldn't be in this situation. Like a good friend of mine who actually put me onto the vegan thing years ago, put me onto this, and it was so bonkers. There was a few times I was just like, I don't know. It's such a like the opposite of what you know. It just gives you a headache, and you're like, what does it matter? It doesn't fucking matter. And then I'd chat to him again, and he'd be like, no, like, keep having a look. He never tried to tell me anything direct.
Yeah.
But he just, keep looking into it, because I'm telling you. And because I had a load of respect from him, the vegan thing changed my life in a really positive way. And I really appreciated the information. And that was something at the time, again, like instead of gravity, it was protein, and there was all the same arguments. Like when you talk to when you're dealing with a program in people, you always get the same responses. Yeah, so like it doesn't matter who you ask about certain subjects, they give you the same responses, the same programmed responses. They're not their own thoughts. They're not their own intuition. It's like they've just been told, oh yeah, that does that because of that. You know,
but where are you? So I'm getting my information, let's say, from science books, from school, from papers, from YouTube videos,
you're not
whatever.
You're not even reading science books, though, are you? You're just
No,
being told
I'm being told that someone's read it. But
like,
where are you getting your information from?
Just my eyeballs, my nose, my ears.
So everything you say is only based. You're not like watching a YouTube video that some other tinfoil person's put together.
Years ago, it fucked my head right up, because there's a lot of information and misinformation on there. So you end up...
You get in a rabbit hole.
Mate, you end up scrambled with just this utter bullshit. That's why I brought it back to just like, water does that. Okay, that's what water does. Unless you can show me an example of it not doing that, that's what it does.
So has there not been an experiment on YouTube that shows them creating an artificial force that holds water against
they can't do that, bro. If it worked the way they're saying it worked, we wouldn't have a flat table here, would we? We'd have a dome, and the dome you'd have like a lump of rock, like a bit of precious stone that was carved into a certain size, and every sphere...
And what you're saying is you could put that on the side of it and it would stay because of gravity.
Obviously, and it would be a cool thing. We'd all fucking have them, because everything...
Like a magnetic...
Yeah, everything would have a set gravitational pull based on its size and density, like they say is true. So you would be able to replicate that here now. You'd be able to get a box, create combustion, vacuum the box out, the Perspex box, the room, create combustion in the center, and then fling a fucking rock in there. When it comes past, squirt some water around it, you'd be able to replicate what they're saying. You cannot replicate it because it goes against everything that is true. It's not true. It does not happen. The idea that the floor under your feet is wrapped around itself and it's spinning at 1,000 fucking miles an hour, when you're like, you sat on a quiet day in the park, just still. Do you know what I mean? It's just not doing it, mate. It's just bollocks. It's just like utter bollocks. Do you know what I'm saying?
What's holographic repatterning?
I put holographic reprogram. It's just some bullshit that I invented. It's
you invented
description of tattoo. No, it's because in my head, my take on reality is holographic.
Got you.
The tattooing is reprogramming. So your mental state changes fucking every few seconds. Your emotional state changes every few whatever. Your physical state every 7 years is totally brand new. Everything in this reality is constantly changing, yeah. That's why, like, fucking people talking about climate change and shit, like, the whole reality's changing, and you've attached yourself to one bit of it that's changing and got the hump about it.
So do you believe in climate change?
No.
Well, it's a political agenda?
Yeah, it changes, but I don't think it's doing any
natural change.
Everything changes constantly. That's what reality does. Do you know what I mean? But the tattooing doesn't change.
So you don't think it's changing because of us? Because driving a Range Rover is changing the temperature?
No, bollocks.
Or whatever it might be.
Bollocks. Utter bollocks.
It naturally just changes.
It just changes, doesn't it? It goes hot, it goes cold, it goes fucking... It just does what it does. The reality just is what it is. I think it's arrogant to actually think that we have the capacity to fucking affect this on that level. It's arrogant. We're a speck. Nature will fuck you up. Do you know what I mean? You go in the middle of the ocean in a storm and tell me that you've got the capacity to change it. Like,
do you think anywhere along history, obviously we don't know, we're guessing this, but like there's some mad civilizations in the past, like the Mayans, the Egyptians, all this
Them
stuff.
lot knew the score.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
They
do you
knew the
think
score.
anywhere along the way
All of
these
them.
guys actually knew?
All of them. All of them
what was
knew
going
it.
on?
And now,
Is that why we can't understand these pyramids? You reckon?
Yeah, in the last couple hundred years, we've been punked by a group of people. There's a group of people that have got that just want to just run the show. It's just, and then it's easier to run the show if the people don't know what's going on. It's that simple.
Yeah,
it's just that simple. It's obvious. But if you look, if there's a guy on there, Wakey, that went to India and did the Vedic astronomy thing. And he was talking to the Jains, and in the Jain temples they show you this is Blue Mandala, this is Jambu Dweep, this is the fucking there's different sectors. They've got a full fucking explanation of this as that correlates with the Earth not being a sphere. And he went over, then he goes to all these ancient temples and schools, gets their take on it. Then he goes to the modern school, and then the people are trying to rationalize their understanding, their ancient understanding of reality that they've known since fucking time, that was passed down through the elders of the societies. And then they're trying to rationalize this new thing because back in the 60s, these fucking Hollywood idiots have just made a movie and told you they've been to the moon. Oh yeah, like before the moon landing fake crap, it was like ideas, yeah? It was like, oh, they changed the mathematics, yeah? So like, the equation is a set thing.
Yeah.
And you can get the same result of an equation if you increase one side of the equation and decrease the other. Do you know what I mean? It's like the sun and the moon are actually the same size, but if you increase the sun's size and decrease the moon size, the equation still works out. Do you know what I mean? Like the map, like the longitude and latitude lines are still the same, but you've just plotted it differently. And then people have bought into the different way it's been plotted. Do you know what I mean? So
I was watching on YouTube like old world maps.
Insane. But the maps in the 50s, the different plots of land. I would go as far as saying, even within the Arctic Ring, there are plots of land that the average Joe public, me and you, just don't know about. They've knocked them off the maps. Like, it's just.
What, you just think you just don't sort of fly over them, or you wouldn't know, would you? So
you wouldn't have a fucking clue, yeah. You just wouldn't have a clue.
There's obviously a lot of change from really old maps to current maps.
But how does
Massive
that? The
changes.
Earth doesn't change like that.
No, but their argument is that
Tectonic plates or something.
tectonic plates, ice melting, so lands that were land are now underground.
Yeah, I mean,
there's civilizations that are underwater.
I do buy that to an extent, yeah. But there's
because if you're saying that every 7 years, let's say roughly everything changes,
totally
reality
changes,
it would make sense that the ice
yeah.
melts for 7 decades and then warms up and then freezes again. And
there's actually an argument with the flat Earth stuff that the moon is like a reflective map of the flat plane, and the section of it.
I'm with you,
mate. Some guys
like
took
bouncing off.
It's
the
like
sun's bouncing off the Earth and reflecting
and
up onto.
So that's like the fucking when they took the moon. You know the shapes of the craters, the dark patches and stuff. Inverted it. Found a section of it that correlates 100% perfectly with every known landmass, sunken or not, that has ever existed in our known world. And then there's like the rest of the moon. And the theory is that as the sun and the moon move, they warm an area and then an area freezes. But I don't know. All that stuff is theory and fun for me to get my head around. But I'm just trying to stick to facts. Do you know what I mean? And like the facts are this, so that can't be true.
What would happen if you and I just got in a car now and boat and any sort of vehicle and just fucking went one way?
If you went east and west, you'd come back to the point where you started. If you went north or south, I would love to know.
East and west, you'd come back to where you started?
Yeah, it's a clock face, isn't it? So that's the why you can circumnavigate, because east and west, it's like a coin, isn't it? It's like the sun rises in the east. It's a vortex.
You're not saying that way. You're saying that way.
Yeah. So no one's ever circumnavigated north to south. And if someone claims they have, they're royalty or they're part of the oligarch that have just put the story out there.
What, north to south?
Yeah,
all the way around?
No one's ever done that. No.
Yeah, so I've actually watched YouTube videos about this online, about no one's flown over the Antarctic, no one's been over it, no one's fully gone round that part of it.
Mate, some of these old maps, there's the centre.
It's like a black hole, isn't it?
No, there's like 4 land masses that create some bizarre swastika river in the middle of it. Like, there's some really mad fucking shit out there. I mean, it's hard to know what's true and what's not, isn't it?
The east to west thing, you're not really...
North's the centre, and east and west is like the hands of a clock.
Yeah, so you're going, I mean like this way.
Yeah, but no one's done that. I would love to do that. Let's go. Let's get a boat. Let's do it.
What, you don't reckon?
No one's done that.
If I take off from England and fly directly west,
you'll come back.
I'll come back to England.
Yeah, obviously.
Would that not mean that?
No, because the north.
It's a globe.
No, obviously not. No, it's a clock face. The north's the centre and south's the circumference.
I'm with you. So you're taking off here and going round.
That's what we do. That's why you circumnavigate.
I don't know if I'm having that.
That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is.
The Antarctic thing genuinely excites me, though, because no one's been there. I quite like the idea of the unexplored.
And what about the notion, like the Antarctic Treaty, that all these warring countries that can't fucking seem to see eye to eye on fuck all have got together and created the Antarctic Treaty where none of us can go there? How do they manage that?
What happens, though, if me and you got on a flight and just...
Well, there's a couple of guys that have done it. There's a couple of Australian guys. There's one guy I've seen in a plane, and he ends up with 2 fighter jets saying to him, listen...
Turn.
Yeah, we're going to shoot you out the sky if you don't turn around.
Video, yeah.
And there's 2 Australian guys in the fisher boat, and they head south from there. And obviously, Australia's quite close to it, and they're the same thing. Like, you literally stop now, or you're going to get shot. It's just you can't do that. You just can't do that.
I've read some shit about it having some like weird alien base, like, as in our like secret naval bases and army bases.
I'm all for that. And I'd say that the alien thing, the idea these like fucking funny grey-headed creatures from outer space, like, I'm not buying that so much. But extra is more, and terrestrial's terrain is land. So an extraterrestrial is just someone from another land, isn't it? So I'd go as far as saying, there has to be other plots of land with different vegetation, slightly different coloured or shaped humans, and do you know what I mean? I think it will always conform to the toroidal field. Like it will always have eyes, arms of some sort, maybe 8, maybe 2. It'll always conform to that set geometric principle. And my point with this Earth thing is, so the torus field is. Like when you're looking at the torus field from the side, the plane of inertia, the neutron is the plane of Earth, like the planet of Earth. Yeah. So we're on the neutron. That's why it's green. That's why it's fucking calm. That's why it's still. Mm-hmm. And then when they say the world goes round, the world, WHIRLD, world, whirlpool, the vortex. So the world does go round, but when I say to you the world goes round, you think of this imaginary ball thing spinning. But it's not. The world is the vortex of the reality around us that clearly moves around us. The terrain, terra firma, is terrain, that unmoving terrain, terra firma. That's what I'm saying. It's
that. The Antarctic thing. So I'm going to go away and do 2 things now after this conversation. I'm going to go away and watch a load of videos and stuff on pro and against, and how it could work both ways, and try and make my own mind up a little bit.
Do it, but bear in mind.
And I might have to get you back on because I've got a load of shit that I'm going to.
I'm up for it. All, the videos are kind of all right. There's the large majority of
how
people.
How can we tell though without?
Because once you know, the only
my
way
belief
of doing
is this, your belief is that.
Yeah, so fuck the belief off, like I said, and go with truth, observable reality. So look at the fucking sun. Go on a plane next time and actually look. Don't just tell yourself you can see the curve. Like, look, I've been on a plane twice now where I can see the sun that side and the moon that side. Do you know what I mean? So like, and it's clearly like the convergence. Obviously, if you've got the clouds may be lower than the convergence of the sky and the thing, and you might think, oh, but on a clear day, when there's no cloud in the sky, the convergence of the sky and the water will always be at eye level, and that dictates that insinuates that the higher you go, the more of it you see. Do you know what I'm saying, mate? There's.
But surely on a clear day, then what you're saying, on a dead clear day, not a cloud in the sky, perfectly. If I got a strong enough camera or telescope,
you'll bring a boat back into view. Yeah,
I could see from one side of the Earth to the other.
Well, no, because the eye can only see so far.
Telescope?
Well, yeah, that can only also see. It will magnify it so much. But if you can actually
if I could physically build a big enough or strong enough telescope, I should be able to see technically from Australia to Canada.
It would have to be like it's not just like the clarity of sky and water particles. There's too much information between this point and that point for you to be able to see clearly the other side.
And stuff, so it might not be.
Even without that, even if you take that out, just bits in the air, fucking Wi-Fi. Like there's things that are going on that would disrupt your view. But if you go down Bournemouth and get a decent camera on a very clear day, and you wait until a boat goes over the horizon, zoom in on it, it will come back because you just
really,
there's loads of videos, hundreds of videos. There's videos of them putting a rocket up without the GoPro shit, but with an actual flat lensed camera. Mate, the convergence of the sky and the fucking water goes all the way up. I've seen one where the rocket shoots up with his camera on it, and it's going, and the sky, the ground's obviously just spinning under it and just getting further and further away, and then the rocket goes. Doesn't bounce, doesn't hit anything. It just goes and just stops. Just totally just stops in the sky. What the fuck is that? And then, do you know the furthest they've ever dug down is 8 kilometers, under 8 kilometers, 8 miles. I think it's 8 kilometers or 8 miles, yeah? The deepest they've ever dug, ever. And at 8 miles down, what happens is it gets too hot and the earth beneath, they've got these diamond drill bits, humongous diamond drill bits. And it hits a point where it turns into a diamond hard rock slurry, liquid. It turns into a liquid slurry that just chews the diamond blade up. So you can't go any further down than that. You reach the outer extremity of this bandwidth of information. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a bit of meteorite, My friend of mine sold me a bit of meteorite years ago, and that done my nut. I'm like, well, if there's no things flying around in space, like how the fuck have I got this meteorite? You can take the meteorite to a stone person and they'll tell you like, yeah, that's a meteorite. That's not anything earthly. That's a meteorite.
How do you explain that?
Well, this is going to sound totally out there. You might have to cut it. I don't know. But like my take on it is because it's a holographic thing. The stars are the projector beams for the hologram, and light only travels in straight lines. So it makes sense to me that at each extremity of the bandwidth, there has to be an undulating, movable, reflective surface that bounces the light to create what we know as reality. Mm-hmm. And I think that when the energy gets a bit fucking intense and shit goes down, that if this thing's like an undulating ocean of the fucking liquid Terminator, Terminator 2, the liquid magnum guy. If it's like a bit of that doing what it's doing, and the sun, the beams somehow project the light down, and the bottom's moving, the top's moving, it bounces the light frequency to create whatever's here. If a piece of that rips off, because another thing that doesn't add up is that, like, in fact, acidity is heat and alkalinity is cold. So like the lower you go, the hotter it gets, the higher you go, the colder it gets. So it always done my head in that these rocks would then like come through and heat up and melt and then come down, because it's not hot there, it's cold in the sky. You know that when you get on a plane, it's freeze. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, in my mind,
well, they put that down to the speed and the gravitational, the ozone layer and the pull and all that kind of stuff that you're talking.
Yeah.
I think anyway.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. So I mean, that was just some like outlandish. That's just an idea. That's not fact. I mean, like, you've got to, like, with this sort of stuff, you've got to.
There's so much of it's theory.
Yeah,
even with science, so much of it's theory.
Well, the majority of it's that. Mate, the only thing is science is. Okay. That's science. That's actually science. So you do something repeatedly and see what happens. And then if you keep doing that and that always happens, that does that. Do you know what I mean? So it's like once you build enough of that for yourself in your own reality.
What about, like, just before we finish, if we're holograms, why do we need to eat and shit?
Because that's holographic too, isn't it? It's fun, isn't it? It's all part of the fucking experience.
You know what I mean though? Like if we were just made out of...
Yeah, but it's a machine, isn't it? Every machine requires, like, you got to put fuel in it. It operates, burns the fuel, and then excretes waste. That's every cell in your body does that. Everything does that. It's the generation, operation, destruction. Do you know what I mean? You eat it, use it, and then shit it. That's just what it does. We're a machine. We're a bioorganic holographic machine.
Say woof again! Say woof again!
I've got one that can see.
This is my kung fu, and it is strong.
See you later.